In the weeks after the mega pizza Plex had burned down, the big shots at Fazbear Entertainment discussed ways on how to rebuild. The pizza Plex, while expensive to build and difficult to maintain, made an incredible amount of money. So an executive decision was made. Rebuild with a few additions. The old building had been so tightly constructed it would have taken an incredible amount of effort to make any expansion to it. And knowing the Pizzaplex would be a success regardless, unless it would burn down again of course, the funding for it went on quite easy. These expansions had the goal of being low cost with maximum returns. One of which was a large indoor pool area for children. The other one, a spa for adults. Both locations were located underground. While the concept of an underground spa wasn't quite tickling many people's fancy, if they were willing to give it a shot, they were met with VIP treatment. Specifically for this, a fully remade staff bot had been programmed to give a full high society lifestyle experience, while the pool was themed after a deep subterranean lake, to cut a few corners when it came to decorations. After all, the installation was fully underground. Lights had been covering the tiled floors of the pool, giving it a wonderful blue glow. The water was heated to a perfect temperature of 77 degrees Fahrenheit, or 25 degrees Celsius. In addition, 4 lifeguards had been hired to make the experience as safe as possible. Business inside the pool was booming, and so was the spa. But there was one more addition. You. A special animatronic. An animatronic that had been constructed to resist the heat of the sauna inside the spa. An animatronic that was constructed to be water resistant and have inflatable shoulder plates that allowed the machine to swim. Well, sort of. It was more floating. But it worked. A fully redesigned and reintroduced Happy Frog. Your personality was chipper and helpful. But most importantly, you had been programmed with over 100 basic and advanced first aid techniques, effectively making you just as valuable as a lifeguard than the human employees around you. In addition, you had been programmed to control Monty's outbursts. His personality subroutine just didn't quite work with the improved endoskeletons. This made you the Gator's unofficial girlfriend, not that you minded. Your body was slim, your endoskeleton tightly secured under a layer of rubber. A star sticker had been placed around your left eye, and another sticker in the shape of a thunderbolt had been placed on your yellow chest, technically making you an official glam rock animatronic, just like the 4 band members on stage. But, unlike the band, you weren't allowed on the stage. Or were unable to. Well, yes, you could play music. It was all just music requests people could give you, since you were connected to the internet. Somehow, your programming did not forbid you to yearn to be on stage. Or more, you're programmed to dream, while Monty put that little bug in your head on performing on stage. The Gator talked highly of it. And his jealousy of Freddy, who always took center stage. Of course, this rivalry too was programmed into him, to lead to natural banter between the two. Enough blocks had been put in place to keep the argument family-friendly. You awoke inside your charging station. It was a unique model. Due to your closeness to water, it had a dryer installed in it that will make sure that there was no way of short-circuiting during the charging up. Slowly you opened the sliding door and stepped into Cave Explorers, the official name of the pool area. Most lights were turned off, making the place look rather ominous and foreboding. You hated that. Or more, you were programmed to be a bit of a scaredy cat. Turning to your right, you made your way towards the elevator. It was 1 a.m. In your daily schedule, this meant visit Monty to make sure he wouldn't trash his room, due to lack of input. However, once the elevator opened in the Atrium main floor, you were flabbergasted. Someone must have forgotten to turn off the holographic performers. Gigantic, translucent, floating animatronics were mimicking playing their instruments. Of course, at this late of night, no one had turned on any music, so it was both eerie and fascinating to you. You tilted your head before activating your security application. Each animatronic had a unique function to enhance security. Monty could leap, and therefore was fast and could reach higher areas. Roxy had a sonar worked into her eyes, allowing her to see things others couldn't. Chica's head could turn 360 degrees, allowing for perfect observation, and Freddy had a stronger battery than the others, allowing for greater child care. Finally, you could see through security cameras. Quickly you bring through them. There was no one in the atrium. Sure, 2 lonely security bots patrolled, but they didn't count. Maybe Monty could wait a few more minutes. Quietly you snuck up towards the stage and climbed on top of it. Shyly you approached the microphone, opened your mouth, and then squeaked. Even though no one was here, you were too shy. How? Why were you programmed to feel desire for something, but then be too shy to follow through? You took a step away from the mic, thinking. Maybe this was just another programmed block, so you follow your instructions. Being a sentient machine probably was just as confusing as it was being a human. You sighed and sat down. While not having forgotten your gator boyfriend, your internal order of operation demanded to cheer up before going to him.
Happy Frog, is that you?
That voice. Your faceplates shifted as you looked up. On the second floor of the atrium was Freddy.
Hold on a second.
The bear animatronic made his way towards you. Strange. You could swear he wasn't in the atrium when you last checked the cameras.
Are you alright?
He asked as he was only a few meters away from the stage. You shrugged.
You look quite down.
He blinked.
Huh. Ironic. I know,
You said. He smiled.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Freddy climbed up on stage next to you, helping you on your feet.
Please say what's bothering you.
Your endoskeleton was different than that of Freddy's. He towered over you. So did Chica, Monty, and Roxy. At least you were still taller than most adults.
I tried to sing, but
Awkwardly you looked at the ground.
my programming refuses me.
Freddy scratched his chin.
I see. Well, do you even want to sing?
You shrugged.
Honestly, I think I just want to be on stage. But singing seems to be the most, stage-worthy thing to do.
Freddy laughed and gently patted you on the shoulder. A click indicated that he almost triggered your shoulder blade inflation, so he quickly retreated his hand.
Oh, I sincerely apologize.
You shrugged and smiled.
Accidents happen.
For a moment, the two of you were quiet.
To get back to your question, I guess I just want to be like you and the others. On stage. And make everyone happy. But I'm not programmed to sing. And well, It appears I also have been programmed with stage fright.
You looked away, wishing you just followed your primary directive of going to Monty.
I guess it's the holograms. I want to be one of you guys. A real glam rock.
Suddenly, Freddy snapped his fingers.
Ah, I got it. You can become our background dancer.
You tilted your head.
In some of our shows, we have staff bots on stage to perform a dance routine. You can ask the night guard, and they can make an inquiry. If you're lucky, they can ask an on-duty engineer, probably Kevin, to download dance moves into your memory chip.
You clapped at your hands.
That sounds perfect, Ribbit!
You blinked. If you could blush, you would. Embarrassed, you looked away. The response of "Ribbit" was hard-coded into you whenever you got overly excited, similar to Chica's Bok Box. You did it a lot around children, but when standing next to a real glam rock, you felt it was necessary to be a bit more dignified. Even if it was just the bare minimum.
You don't have to be embarrassed, Happy Frog. I'm glad I can help you.
Quickly you jumped Freddy, wrapping your arms around him.
I like you, Freddy. You glam rock seemed so out of reach for me. It feels nice knowing we can be friends.
He patted your head. There was a chance you could be on stage with everyone else. You were so happy.
Come on, Happy Frog. You're a glam rock animatronic too. And just like Monty, Roxy, and Chica, I love you. Well, as a friend, of course.
Sadly, your hug didn't last.
Hey, what's going on here?
That was Monty. Oh no, you completely forgot. The Gator must have been worried about you and had looked for you. The Gator's heavy footsteps quickly approached. Knowing full well Monty was prone to violent outbursts, you immediately stepped between him and Freddy. The bear being confused.
What are you doing with my companion?
Freddy blinked. Angrily, the Gator jumped up on stage, but he was held back by you. You could see his circuits were going wild.
Oh, I get it. You aren't programmed to react to a situation like this. Your jealous nature towards me is therefore making you act erratic.
Monty blinked. He was offended. The one thing the Gator always forgot is how predictable his programming made him. But this just made him even more upset. You blinked, looking at Monty. Then Freddy, back to Monty. Of course, Freddy was right.
Monty?
He asked after your robot boyfriend didn't reply for a whole minute.
What am I supposed to say?
He put both hands on his head.
I want to shout, throw tables, put that... That would be exactly what you want, wouldn't it? Predictable, right?
You smiled gently and placed a hand on his chest.
Shh. Come on. It's bedtime. Let's go back to our room.
Freddy tilted his head. Something about this picture seemed eerily familiar to him.
Freddy was merely giving me friendly suggestions.
You sighed.
You must be hearing things, silly.
Freddy blinked. This feeling of familiarity only becoming stronger and scarier. But eventually, Monty turned around.
Let's go to my room.
When you entered Monty's room, you felt some relief. He hasn't trashed his room. Yet. He sat down on his decorative bed and scratched his chin.
They're stupid.
What do you mean?
I'm predictable. I hate that.
You chuckled and sat down on the nearby bed.
Predictable? But humans are predictable too. For us, it's ones and zeros. You know, programming. For them, it's chemicals in their body. I don't see a big difference there.
He shrugged.
Honestly, I was more mad you didn't come to me first.
He sighed and leaned back.
It was in the heat of the moment, Monty. I didn't intend to hurt your feelings.
Monty sighed.
I know you've been designed to be compatible with me. In your eyes, you never were without me. But I was without anyone close to me for years. We're all made to yearn for companionship. That's why we're so good with kids. But ever since they made you, I feel as if I'm more complete. But it's just...
He stomped his foot on the ground.
I hate being second banana to Freddy. If it were to me, I'd replace him. Perform with Chica and Roxy.
You looked at the ground, dejected.
Without me?
He tilted his head.
I even programmed to perform on stage.
Freddy said I could request an upgrade.
Or merely the suggestion of it.
I don't fully understand it.
Monty immediately got up on his feet.
Right, then I support it. More than him.
He sprinted to your side.
Monty?
You smiled.
That's kind of you.
He knelt down in front of you and took one of your hands.
I know we're machines, but that's fine. I have feelings for you, despite being written and set in stone by someone else. They feel real to me.
They feel real to me too.
Quietly you added, or at least real enough. His hands turned to fists in preparation for what he was about to do. He grabbed you and threw you into his arms. Your feet dangled as your animatronic shell creaked from the pressure he put into his hug.
You're my precious little froggy,
He shouted.
Ribbits!
You coughed. Monty let go and you crashed onto the ground.
I'm sorry. Did I break anything?
You rolled your eyes. If he didn't break anything, surely that fall would have done some damage. Your body reported pain, but it was at manageable levels.
Running system diagnostic.
As your view was filled with technical information, Monty helped you stand up. There was a crack on your behind, but nothing serious.
All systems nominal. Hanger receptors are going wild, though.
You groaned.
I'm sorry, Happy Frog.
Ribbit. You called me Froggy.
You said. Monty tilted his head, and your eyes widened.
Would you mind calling me that from now on? Like, permanent? Please? I love you.